Good morning, everybody. I'd like to talk about divine appointments today and what that might mean and how we figure out what they are. I first learned the term from the same Presbyterian minister that I mentioned several days ago in a live stream, a woman named Patricia Ashley in Key West, Florida. And learning this phrase was in the context of this story. I was involved with several parishes there in Key West, churches, and the Presbyterian Church was one of them. It was also the landlord for the preschool co-op. And this minister, Pat Ashley, was so popular, not only among her congregation, but also as sort of the chief executive officer of the institution that had the property where we had this preschool co-op. And my daughters were there, and I was on the board of that too. Anyway, I got elected because I was supposed to go into Pat Ashley's office and tell her that although she had come on a 2-year temporary contract, she must become the permanent Presbyterian minister at the Peace Covenant Presbyterian Church. So I went in there, I had a mission, and I agreed. I really believed in my mission. I had to convince Pat to stay because she was great and we loved her and she was benefiting Key West and all the reasons she should stay. So she heard me out after a while and she said, "Have you prayed about this?" And I said, "Well, generally I guess yes." She goes, "But specifically about whether I should be persuaded by your sales pitch and stay here." And she had this big smile on her face. And I said, "Yeah, no, I really haven't." She goes, "Well, do this, Chris. Pray about it. See what you get." Oh, I will remember that phrase if I live to be a million. Pray about it. See what you get. And what you'll get again and again and again when you pray about something, and you pray fervently and you pray open-mindedly, what you'll discover is what we call God's will, or said another way, the best case scenario, the divinity's best case scenario. The thing that is best for earth and heaven will come when we pray about something with open hearts, with a contrite heart, with an open mind and open soul, and then we see what we get. Well, as it turns out, she was not supposed to stay in Key West. She stayed there exactly 2 years. She got this Presbyterian church totally on track. She oversaw the search committee for the person who replaced her and did an incredible job, because actually her divine appointment was to go back to Miami, where she had come from, and work for the presbytery and be sort of the equivalent of a Presbyterian bishop, which they do not have. Those of us who know about the Reformation, I don't want to go there, but they have things just like dioceses called presbyteries, and they have people who offer guidance to all their clergy. She became that person and became it magnificently. That was her divine appointment. And that's the point of this morning's live stream. Pat Ashley is not the only person out there with the divine appointment. We, all of us, have been known since before we were in our mother's womb, says the Psalm. And it says it accurately, known by God. God has put us all here for reasons. And those reasons are our divine appointments. And we might as well spend the time and energy trying to figure them out and live into them, because frankly, nothing else really matters. And furthermore, nothing's really going to make us happy, satisfied, gratified, give us that mind, body, spirit sense of fulfillment, except when we live in to our divine appointments. If you're considering something in your life right now, should you stay or should you go? Should you continue a certain line of work or should you look into another career? Should you get on to eHarmony and start dating again? Or should you have another couple months off just getting to know yourself better, a time of formation? God has an opinion on all of these things. And we can figure out what God's opinion is when we ask God through prayer. And it's not only just sitting, on our knees at night with our hands folded and praying to God. We can seek God's divine appointments by prayerfully and meditatively asking ourselves, what should I read today, if I should read at all? Which radio station should I listen to? Or is it God's will that as I'm driving today, I turn the car radio off and just listen with my eyes and see the beauty of the desert? All of these things are divine appointments and opportunities to then discover more deeply God's truest dream and wish for us. But if you only remember one phrase, it's this, and I say this to you. You want to know what you're really supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be living? Pray about it and see what you get. That pretty much sums it up. All right, happy day, everybody. I love you. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.